One Manchester United player is set to leave the club on loan and could leave for good in the summer. According to reports, Manchester United have agreed to send Hannibal Mejbri on loan to La Liga club Sevilla, and a transfer agreement has been signed between the two clubs. The midfielder made the trip to Spain on Sunday evening when he was spotted at Sevilla Airport, which could mean the end of his stay at Old Trafford, as the loan deal contains a buyout option. Transfer expert Fabrizio Romano reports that the clubs have come to an agreement on a lease with a buyback option, but adds that United are expected to include a buyback clause in the deal. The Daily Mail reports that an option to buy in the summer will cost Sevilla £17.5 million. Mejbri moved to United in the summer of 2019 from Monaco after rejecting interest from other clubs in England. The Red Devils have reportedly agreed a deal worth up to £9.3 million with Monaco. Mejbri was just 16 at the time of his arrival at Old Trafford, having played for the club's youth teams and made his debut for the adult side in May 2021 in a 2-1 win over Wolverhampton. He spent last season on loan at Championship club Birmingham City, playing 41 times for the Blues, scoring 1 goal and contributing 6 assists. He has played just 13 games for United, 5 of which have come in the Premier League this season, with his only goal for the club coming in a 3-1 defeat to Brighton and Hove Albion at Old Trafford earlier in the campaign. He has been a regular in matches this season but has struggled to find minutes, as Everton were also interested in a loan move, but Sevilla won the race for the young player. He was due to run out of contract in the summer, but United extended his contract by 12 months earlier this month, as manager Erik ten Hag confirmed the decision ahead of their FA Cup win over Wigan Athletic. Hannibal was not in the squad as Ten Hag's side drew 2-2 with Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday, and his last game was against Wigan, as he came on as a substitute against the League One side last week. Manchester United have set their transfer priorities under Sir Jim Ratcliffe and want to sign a highly rated forward who is at the same level as Harry Kane. Ratcliffe expects his £1 billion deal to buy a 25% stake in United to be ratified early next month, and he is already pushing ahead with plans to revitalize the club. A new centre-forward to bolster United's attack has been identified as a priority, along with a number 8, a central defender, and a right-back. Any new forward is expected to play alongside £72 million signing Rasmus Højlund, who scored his second Premier League goal in yesterday's 2-2 draw with Tottenham. Ratcliffe finds himself in the director's box at Old Trafford for the first time since his deal was announced last month, and Højlund retains the backing of United's senior officials despite his difficult start to life in England. Crystal Palace winger Michael Olise has been identified by United as a key transfer target ahead of the team's planned end-of-season rebuild. Jared Bruntwaite of Everton and Jean-Claire Todibo of Nice are admired in the center of defense, although many Premier League clubs are also targeting the defensive duo. Most of the players being targeted will be difficult to sign in January, and to bring in players this month, United first need to sell players to ensure they remain within the Premier League's spending rules. But Ratcliffe's investment should significantly increase the club's ability to buy players in the summer without breaking financial rules, and United are planning a big summer to kickstart the Ratcliffe era. United are on the verge of selling midfielder Hannibal Mejbri to Sevilla for £17.5 million after allowing Jadon Sancho to return to Borussia Dortmund on loan last week. Despite United's ongoing problems, manager Erik ten Hag is heavily involved in transfer planning both this month and in the summer. Ratcliffe will be given full control of soccer operations under the terms of his deal with the Glazers, and the Ineos billionaire is pushing ahead with plans to overhaul the disastrous transfer strategy at the club. Sir Dave Brailsford is leading an audit of United's transfer structure, who are interested in bringing in Dan Ashworth and Paul Mitchell as sporting directors. Manchester United are hoping to raise some transfer funds by selling players this window. Manchester United are planning to get rid of a number of top players this window as they look to add important funds to their transfer basket. Jadon Sancho's return on loan to Dortmund was a high-profile decision for the Reds following the player's falling out with Erik ten Hag, but there are other linked departures this month. One name on the list of potential sales is Anthony Martial, who has struggled to get into United's squad this season. The forward has featured in the starting lineup in just 5 APL games this season, scoring a goal and giving an assist in that time. Reds are hoping to poach the Frenchman before the January transfer window closes, but the task at hand has proven more difficult than expected. Martial's current contract expires at the end of the season as United decided not to extend it for 1 year. The 28-year-old is set to leave in the summer, but the Red Devils were hoping for an earlier move. However, Fabrizio Romano's latest update suggests that the chances of that happening are diminishing. Speaking to Caught Offside for his daily briefing column, the transfer expert revealed that Martial is not convinced by any of the options that have come his way this window. His reluctance to leave Old Trafford could also ultimately affect United's search for a new striker to replace him. Manchester United are looking for options, but nothing is imminent in this case. Manchester United have spoken to striker agents across Europe on numerous occasions, but so far nothing concrete, Romano said. In addition, Anthony Martial is still not convinced by the options he has received so far, which is why he could stay at Old Trafford until June. Martial has missed the last month due to illness, and very few updates have been given about his return. He last took to the pitch against Bournemouth in the Premier League in December. Newcastle United transfer news has also been linked with Manchester United in the January window. Newcastle United have made a bid for Swedish prodigy Lucas Bergvall as the management of the Cartoons continue to rebuild their academy. This is reported by Scandinavian publication Expressen, who claim that the Magpies are keeping tabs on the highly rated 17-year-old player. Bergvall arrived at Djurgården just a year ago and is already considered the next superstar of Swedish soccer. The current golden child is Alexander Isak, a striker that Newcastle fans are familiar with given his performances since he moved for a club record fee 18 months ago. Everyone was in the spotlight when Bergvall made his debut for the senior national team from the bench at the weekend when Sweden beat Estonia. Barcelona were considered the top contender to sign the prodigy, and talks were already underway about a possible move to La Liga. Djurgården's sporting director spoke about the Catalans' interest in an interview last month. "I can confirm that we are in talks with Barcelona," he said. "But in my world there are no negotiations yet." Bergvall's contract expires in 2025 and a bidding war is expected to break out between Europe's top clubs. The Swedish club expect to fetch the highest transfer price, but around £6 million is unlikely to damage Newcastle's balance sheet. Since the Saudi-backed acquisition, efforts have been made to strengthen the ranks of the academy, an area of the club that was neglected during Mike Ashley's reign. Prominent young players such as Yankuba Minda and Geraint Cole joined the youth team before being loaned out. Newcastle averted interest from Barca for the latter a year ago and must do the same again to sign Bergvall. The midfielder, who has been compared to Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard, trained with Manchester United as a junior and is another Premier League club reportedly interested.